Well, of course, it's going to be a sort of new experience for a lot of our younger guys, like your Pollards, Opamahoji, never really played in conditions like that. Inevitably, it's going to be wet.
Yes, very different sort of atmosphere for a lot of those players, as you say. So good that they get stuck in, pretty quickly. Let's not forget that they did a lot of training in conditions that are light years different. They were in the Stellenbosch heat for a couple of weeks at a camp, which nevertheless I think was quite a useful exercise, because apparently the Boks were able to do let's not forget that they didn't play Currie Cup this year, so they should be pretty fresh, and they were able to do some very valuable sort of conditioning work, which sometimes gets underrated, and the players don't always, because there's so much competition throughout the rugby calendar year, and they don't really get the chance for conditioning. And by all accounts, I heard John de Villiers talking before the Boks left. He said they did a lot of running, so I'd be surprised if they sort of run out of gas. The only little worry I perhaps do have is that, as you say, some of the raw players, quite intimidating playing in front of any of those sort of Six Nations passionate audiences on what might be a pretty grim day.
And they always seem to sell out their stadiums too.
Absolutely, and Irish crowds are probably more passionate than any, really. The pubs will be full before the game. They'll be pretty sort of hale and hearty by the time kickoff comes. So it's not going to be an easy undertaking. But I've got to say that I'm with Garen completely on this one. I think the Boks are probably more than a score better. Garen said he reckons about 8 points. I agree fully. I think it'll probably be something like 8 to 10 points in the Boks' favour. Only thing that worries me just a little bit is perhaps the engine might be a little bit cold in starting. The guys haven't played for a few weeks now because they did this out of competition work. So it may just take a few minutes, perhaps the first quarter or something, for the Boks to sort of click back into gear. In that time, maybe the Irish will try to capitalise. But let's not forget that they also haven't played much rugby for a long time. They're in fact, as a combination, will be probably rustier than the Springboks, in fact. So it's not necessarily sort of an excuse in the Springboks' favour if the Boks do get off to a sluggish start. But I fully expect South Africa to win. I think it'll be a wholesale upset if the result goes the other way.
And obviously, finally, sorry, just on this fixture, consistency in selection on the Springboks' part. Same team that beat the All Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Same starting 15. It seems like it's been a while since we actually played those All Blacks, and as Rob said, we haven't played since then. These players were out of the Currie Cup. They've just been at this training camp, whereas some of the Irish players have played in the old Heineken Cup, European Cup I think it's called now, so they have got some game time under the belt, but as Rob said, not as a team. So it might take us a few minutes to get into the swing of things. I'm sure the Irish will come out firing with, in front of their passionate crowd. First 20 minutes could be a bit of a ding-dong affair. But I think gradually, as the 80 minutes wears on, South Africa will have too much for them, especially up front, grind them down. Excited to see Pollard up against Sexton. Again, he's been talked up as one of the better flyhalves, not only in Europe, but in the world. So they'll have a bit of a ding-dong battle there. Could go away to deciding the outcome, but I think overall South Africa will be too strong.